Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. So look at that rally, guys. This is Bitcoin on the daily, and we're seeing Bitcoin right now trading at 92.41 per BTC. This upward trend has been surprising to say the least. After this downturn in the market because of the global pandemic, we saw Bitcoin gaining steam, and it looks as though with more fury than before the pandemic really had an effect on the markets. And the reason I say that is because look at the volume down here, if you guys can see that, from before the crash to now. Look at post-crash and the rally post-crash. You can see that volume is significantly larger, and Bitcoin just looking to keep going and going and going. The question is going to be what happens when we reach this top level of support. Are we going to see Bitcoin break through that? Are we going to see it make new highs? Are we going to see it make new intra-year highs? And could we even see it pierce its high of about 14,000 per BTC? That was the price we saw back in 2019. So once it pierces 14,000, that means we'll be on our way to that $20,000 mark. I still think we will see a bit of ebb and flow before that. I don't think we're going straight to that price. XRP right now on the daily, also showing some strong volume, a lot of buyers interested in purchasing cryptocurrency right now. And XRP trading at about 22 cents, and we're seeing the same kind of pattern here, higher lows, higher highs. XRP needs to reach that 34.5 cent mark, pierce that, and then after that, it's all about Bitcoin and how Bitcoin is going to react post-halving. I'm sure we'll see alts either mimicking that pattern or breaking off independently in what could be considered another alt season. Of course, we are around that time of year where we tend to see alts move anyway. So with the Bitcoin halving coming up, the chef has added a new spicy ingredient to the mix this year. But anyway, I'm going to keep moving along here, guys. So this Ripple and XRP powered $179 million in cross-border remittances, an exponential increase of 55,000%. So this with regards to Mexico's largest cryptocurrency exchange, Bitso, and we know that there is an ODL corridor using XRP through Bitso. And Daniel Vogel, the co-founder and president, says that remittances are rising exponentially in recent months. On the side of Bitso, we have seen an exponential increase in the processing of remittances through the technology of Ripple, XRP, and Bitso. In April, we processed over 4.3 billion pesos in remittances. Between April 2019 and April 2020, the volume of Bitso remittances grew from 7.48 million pesos, or $320,000, to 4.37 billion pesos, or $179 million, an increase of 55,837%, so almost 56,000%. Wow, the power of leveraging blockchain and using XRP for that instant settlement really has, I'm sure in a lot of ways, give their customers confidence that they can send remittance payments, cross-border transactions transparently, quickly, and affordably. This is the trifecta, all right? A magic recipe for success. Just going to go down here. In March, Bitso executive Barbara Gonzalez Briceño said that the solution offers tangible benefits. We usually tend to see that a transaction, as we're seeing through ODL, used to cost more than 5 times what it's actually costing them right now. Another one is settlement, which is almost immediate, which you don't see by any means in the traditional financial system. So Bitso and Ripple first partnered in August 2018, 2 months before Ripple officially launched ODL for use in commercial applications. We know ODL started last year, and Bitso and Ripple partnered before that. Nevertheless, I think what Barbara Gonzalez Briceño says here is really all we need to know about Ripple's ODL and how it's going to transform the world. I think at this point in time, more people need to know about it, or rather, okay, let me back up for a second. Cryptocurrency regulations need to be clearer in most parts of the world, but also educating the public, bringing them in, letting them see the future of payments. So you got to imagine it used to cost them 5 times more than it's actually costing them right now, and the settlement is almost instantaneous. How could you not want to use a service leveraging XRP for ODL? And this is just the beginning, folks. Can you imagine, too, when the world has seen regulatory clarity and we can see corridors all over the world? Not to mention the fact that we're in a pandemic, and even their April numbers in 2020 were pretty good. So I think this momentum will continue as the months go on. Guys, I saw this from the Crypto Associate. RippleNet powered Cross off 50% monthly growth. And so Cross is a Korean remittance service. and they partnered with Ripple to utilize RippleNet in December 2019. Since partnering with RippleNet, the platform has seen an influx of new users. Cross is the first blockchain-based remittance solution in the rapidly growing economy of South Korea. According to Camille Jeong, the business development manager at Coin1 Transfer, the RippleNet partnership helped Cross build an extensive network of remittance partners. RippleNet's increasing adoption is evident as the platform saw unprecedented levels of usage during Q1 of 2020. So a huge surge. RippleNet usage surges 300% and 50% on this specific platform. Also, someone stating here that the operating cost is getting lower. So this is a quote from Camille Jeong. When we work with our partners in RippleNet, we can easily integrate a solution, and the operating cost is getting lower as we have the same level of understanding. Not only that, Cross is also taking advantage of RippleNet's partner network. Using this platform, Cross is able to connect with various remittance partners that can help bolster Cross adoption. So a cross-pollination, so to speak, no pun intended there, of RippleNet partners to keep promoting these cross-border solutions. Ripple is building upon its partner platform with RippleNet Home. Unveiled at Ripple's Swell conference last year, RippleNet Home will create a platform that allows remittance partners to connect with other partners. The platform will also offer valuable marketing insights using AI technology. So Ripple seems to have it down, giving their partners what they need in order to succeed, giving them resources. We've seen this with even the Spring Initiative as well. And I feel like Ripple is kind of in this position where they need to kind of give something to kind of encourage them along, to say, hey, we're here from you. All the support they need, I guess support is the word I'm looking for. The support they need, not so much encouragement, but support, because this is all brand new for so many different people. Okay, using cryptocurrency to source liquidity is something not to be taken lightly, and especially in the world of finance, right? You're dealing with people's money here. So Ripple needs to be trusted, and it seems as though that's occurring. Incentives here and there never hurt at all. I saw this, guys, from Ian Binns on Twitter. It operates as permissioned network on R3's Corda Enterprise platform. This with regards to Italian banking and the fact that the Italian banking system goes on blockchain to cut operational risk. So this from Euromoney.com. At the end of April, 32 banks in Italy went into full production with one of the first large-scale deployments of blockchain in interbank markets. While JP Morgan was far ahead of the pack in October of 2018, okay, let's give JP Morgan a little bit of credit, when it launched the Interbank Information Network that allows its correspondent banks quickly to chase down details of failed cross-border payments and rectify them, the new Spunta Banca DLT application is set to connect up an entire domestic banking system on DLT, distributed ledger technology. Associazione Bancaria Italiana, or the Italian Banking Association, built the application to swiftly and efficiently reconcile discrepancies in the separate ledgers for so-called nostro and vostro accounts that Italian banks hold for each other. It operates as a permissioned network on R3's Corda Enterprise platform. So using R3, we know R3 can settle with XRP. It removes the pain of reconciling mismatches that used to take days or weeks to resolve. Mismatches can now be spotted and reconciled immediately. This from Charlie Cooper of R3. And among the 32 banks now using it are leading institutions such as Banca Mediolanum, Banca Monte dei Paschi di Siena, and a whole bunch of others. I got to keep working on that Italian accent. As well as Italian operations of foreign banks, including BNP Paribas and Crédit Agricole. So down here, from a pilot between 18 banks testing the system in the first quarter of 2020, 32 using it now, 23 more to join later in May, then another wave due in October. All Italian banks are expected to be using it before the end of the year. David Rudder, chief executive of R3, says this heralds one of the most significant real-world digital transformations in the interbank financial services sector to date. So we are seeing all the banks, okay, starting with 32 different banks in Italy, and then by the end of the year, they're saying that all the Italian banks will be using blockchain technology to settle. And David Rudder, chief executive of R3, says this heralds in one of the most significant real-world digital transformations in the interbank financial services sector to date. Guys, this is huge. Even if you're not Italian, or rather from Italy, this is a big step. Okay, this is moving away from SWIFT and into the future. And again, guys, may I reiterate, R3 has the ability to settle with XRP. Using DLT, distributed ledger technology, I have a few more articles, but I wanted to skip ahead to this one. This one again from Ian Northing, because this I find actually thematically has to do with the thing that I just read here. Is Swift's cross-border B2B payment monopoly under threat by new entrants? And it looks to be true. So most cross-border payments occur primarily through a correspondent banking network, yet sending payments through the network can be a costly proposition for corporations, fintechs, challenger banks, foreign exchange brokers, and others that must use banks. Now, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but ultimately it said that Swift transferred nearly $77 trillion through cross-border and intergroup payments in 2019. More than 50% of Swift GPI payments were credited to end beneficiaries within 30 minutes. Now, 30 minutes sounds fast, but if you had the opportunity to settle instantly or settle in 30 minutes, which one would you choose? Especially if there was no cost differential. Think about it for a second. So this article goes on to say that new players are coming on the scene. First, a history lesson. So they talk about Earthport firstly, now part of Visa. And guys, we know Earthport is integrated with RippleNet. So they're one of the newcomers on the scene. And also down here, they talk a little bit about Ripple and how their blockchain technology for global payments has a network of over 300 providers across more than 40 countries to save money. And it lists off some of their clients. So let me just read you this summary, guys. I will link this article in the description for those of you guys who are interested. Swift is still the dominant way to move money across borders, with traffic soaring to $77 trillion. At least that was the number for 2019. Adding up all the vendors who have developed the local banking infrastructure, money movement licenses, and technology, then acquired customers are still relatively small. But increasingly, companies will have the option to make B2B cross-border disbursements, and when making many transactions, should seek to understand the options as well as the pros and cons for each solution to them. This next paragraph here is what I find the most poignant. There was a time when B2B cross-border payments were mostly a letter of credit world, and banks were firmly involved in the credit, document processing, and payment function. And this is where the problem has been for the last 45 years. Okay, when we're dealing with credit, we're not settling instantly, and these new technologies are creating a better mousetrap in a lot of ways. Settling instantly, knowing your money is there, is going to be the status quo, is going to be what people expect. And so I think that we are going to see more people moving away from the Swift system, even if they are using GPI. And there are so many players now on the scene, including, well, Ripple, obviously, and companies that are using RippleNet. So how will Swift compete, and will their $77 trillion mega transfer monopoly dwindle over time? I seem to think so. Anyway, thanks so much, Ian Northing, for posting that. And guys, we got this here from the Daily Hodl, Ripple co-founder. Bitcoin is a perfect storm of technology, but XRP is superior. So how many of you guys caught the podcast, the Blockstars podcast that David Schwartz was mentioning on Twitter the other day? Well, Ripple co-founder Chris Larsen says Bitcoin sparked a movement that will have a profound impact on the world of finance. He talks a little bit about Bitcoin, the history, how, they're not knocking Bitcoin the same way I think a lot of us tend to do. But he does say, and here's a quote from the podcast, he does say that they created XRP to be a better Bitcoin. That was the whole purpose of XRP. They saw the problems with Bitcoin and they wanted to create a better one. So he says here, I think the thing with Bitcoin was it was the right technology hitting at the right economic time. That's really what I think was the breakout moment. Bitcoin had the perfect storm of a fundamentally new technology, decentralized, which was something that other projects couldn't do or didn't do. And he says before there was even a company, i.e. Ripple, the idea was, can we build a better Bitcoin? I think we were all fascinated by Bitcoin, but it had problems. And I think the biggest problem that the people that were attracted to the XRP project thought was Bitcoin just uses enormous amounts of electricity. So they talk about the electricity and how an energy guzzling coin can't be successful in the long term. Then Chris Larsen just goes on to the fact that, we want the end game to be the Internet of Value. Here's another quote. An Internet of Value is going to be an open, decentralized system with accessibility to all. If you listen to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, they have calculated those 2 billion people in the developing world need to be able to send value as little as 50 cents in a way that's economical. And in today's world, that's just not possible. So XRP going to be that bridge currency created as a result of Bitcoin not being perfect. And so this is why it's going to succeed. XRP is the Facebook to the MySpaces of the world, the Google Chromes to the Netscapes, the VHS to the Betamax, and for those of you video nerds, the Blu-ray to the HD DVD. Who remembers HD DVD? Not many. All right, guys, but I wanted to move along, and this from Vin. Just a quick announcement here. Zoom Beta 3 will hit iOS App Store and Google Play in just a few short minutes, and this tweet was just from about an hour ago now. So if you guys want to download Beta 3 of Sum, I keep calling it Zoom, but it's Sum. Sum is how it's pronounced. It is available now on iOS App Store and the Google Play Store. But I'm going to keep moving along here, guys. This from XRP Crypto Wolf. Visa and Bank BRI have invested an undisclosed amount of money in Ripple's partner Niam Open Money. So Visa and BRI Ventures, the corporate venture arm of Bank BRI of Indonesia, have invested an undisclosed amount in cross-border money transfer operator Niam. So we know Niam, a Ripple partner. The new funding comes in after a round of $45 million, and that was from back in 2018 with a $20 million capital raise from NDI Ventures, the VC arm of Indonesia's Telkom, and Beacon Venture Capital, the VC arm of Thailand's Kasih Korn Bank. Formerly known as Instarem, we've heard that name before. Before a rebranding exercise last year, the firm says it will direct the cash towards product development and tuck-in acquisitions in markets like Europe, India, UK, and the United States. So these guys are just gobbling up all the players. And I think Brad Garlinghouse even mentioned this, the fact that we are going to see more consolidation, and with efficiencies come consolidation, because these big companies just want to get bigger. They want to gobble up the small players, utilize what they have to offer, and service as many customers as possible. And with RippleNet in their arsenal, think of the profits that can be had when you're paying out virtually nothing for a cross-border transaction. Even if you're cutting your customers' fees significantly, you still stand to profit. But then this will be a game of volume at this point. And so I can see why Brad Garlinghouse was mentioning the fact that we are going to see more consolidation in 2020 because of RippleNet. So really interesting article there. Guys, I also saw this from XRP Crypto Wolf. R3, MasterCard, RBM, and Accenture, all Ripple partners, are working on a global digital privacy standard with the Linux Foundation. So data privacy issues have been escalating in 2020 as personal data is increasingly being used to fight the beer flu. The Linux Foundation, a nonprofit technology consortium, has today announced a new data privacy project featuring dozens of cross-industry giants like MasterCard and IBM. Okay, and they're calling it the TOIP Foundation. So the foundation's participants include a wide list of companies, governments, and nonprofits across industries like finance, enterprise software, and healthcare. Founding members include payment giants MasterCard, IBM, Security, and Accenture. We know Accenture partnered with Ripple, while contributing members feature major blockchain consortium R3, the University of Arkansas, and online lending platform Kiva. A lot of R3 news out today, it seems. Abbas Ali, head of digital identity at R3, highlighted that R3 is highly committed to the development of secure, trusted, and privacy-preserving digital identity ecosystems. The exec noted that R3's open-source enterprise blockchain platform Corda is able to unlock private transactions. Our Corda platform is designed to enable private transactions, and by incorporating the work of the TOIP Foundation, we can develop solutions uniquely suitable for self-sovereignty in the digital world. Another push for security, which is paramount in this digital age. My wife and I were just talking about this yesterday because we're seeing so many people out there wearing masks, going into stores, and I thought to myself, yeah, if you had your face covered going into a bank, 10, 20 years ago, the bank teller would be scared SHIT-less, thinking you're holding up the bank or whatever. But in this day and age, there's not even any cash in banks to hold up. So the bank robbery has ultimately become a thing of the past, which is kind of sad because there are so many movies that I love that had to do with bank robberies, or at least incorporated a bank robbery in them. So to think that the idea of robbing a bank, stick them up, give me all your money, is something that we're not going to see really anymore in media or even hear about much more. Although bank robberies still do happen, I'm not saying they're completely gone forever, but we are seeing them less and less. And to that point, we are seeing more and more robberies happen online. Okay, I did that video the other day that the number of exchanges, cryptocurrency exchange hacks have actually increased from 2017 to 2019, and who knows what 2020 is going to bring, especially when we see another bull run. This is why I always like to keep my cryptocurrency safe on a ledger. I've got two. I got one as a backup. And guys, if you don't have a ledger yet, I urge you do get one. I do have an affiliate link in the description. You don't have to use it if you don't want to. They are offering family packs now, so you can buy 2 or 3 at a huge discount. Maybe a gift to give a friend or a loved one because you got them into cryptocurrency and now they're like, oh, what do I do with this? Anyway, did you guys hear this news? That's right, guys. Ripple is the first company to do this. From Michael on Twitter at Val5Links, Ripple claims to be the first DLT-focused member of the global ISO 20022 standard body, driving international standards for interoperability between financial institutions. They're the first DLT-focused member. So Ripple has now officially become a member of the ISO 20022 standards body, which is driving a new data standards for payments and data messaging between global financial institutions. The company claims to be the first distributed ledger technology focused member of the group, which includes a number of international commercial and central banks, along with payment processing entities like SWIFT and Visa. So Ripple officially playing with the big guys. And so ISO 20022, this is a single standardized approach in the methodology, processing, and repository to enable communications and interoperability between all global financial organizations. If you want to be taken seriously in the world of finance, you need to be part of this. And so we heard a little bit of news about this about a month ago or 2 months ago. The standard has already been adopted in 70 countries, and it is estimated that by 2023, 87% of global financial transactions will be supported by ISO 20022. And they're saying that everybody will be on the standard by the year 2025, and that date has been pushed back due to partially because of the beer flu, but other factors involved as well. So is Ripple the crypto's Jekyll and Hyde? Ripple's membership of the standards body marks a further validation of cryptocurrency and DLT in the world of traditional finance. It also allows Ripple and its customers to have a say in the future direction of cross-border payments. Adherence to the ISO 20022 standard also simplifies counterparty connections and reduces associated costs. This last line here I didn't quite understand. As Cointelegraph has recently reported, for every new high-profile partnership, there is a market dilution of XRP by Ripple or its former executives, along with ongoing allegations of XRP being an unlicensed security sale. What does that have to do with anything? Plus, you cannot dilute XRP. There is a finite amount, so I'm not sure what they're talking about with regards to this market dilution. Ripple holds the XRP that they hold in escrow, and it is released monthly, and that's on a timer. Cointelegraph, can you explain what you mean by this? Don't want to move away from the point too much though, guys. ISO 20022, this is like the cherry on top. The confirmation that Ripple will be used in the world of finance. Countries of the world have taken them seriously, and governmental bodies are more likely to implement an ISO 20022 company versus their unlicensed, unaccredited counterparts. So I think this is a major step for Ripple. We knew it was going to happen. I mean, all the things we talk about on this channel, all the news that's come out. It was just a matter of time, really, but now we've got the official stamp of approval, so that's amazing news. And going along with that, I saw this Twitter thread here from Ian Northing, at Ian Bins on Twitter. If you don't think all regulation is not in place, it's just a matter of time, listen to Michelle Bond from Ripple explain how regulated they are. So a lot of people are thinking to themselves, yeah, you know, we're waiting for regulation. We're waiting for the regulatory clarity. Well, there's regulatory clarity in the world, and then there's financial regulatory clarity. And so Ian Bins here seems to think that it's already happened, that Ripple is already kind of just set and poised, ready to pounce once those floodgates open. I'm just going to play you this clip of Michelle Bond right now. This is an older clip, by the way, from a few months ago. Let me play it for you.
We're actually actively engaged with 50 different governments, and we're making sure to comply with all AML, BSA, CFT, and other requirements. Our company, I know that a lot of people have the misperception that, you know, blockchain is completely unregulated, et cetera. But not only are we directly regulated, we have a money services business license with FinCEN. We also hold a New York State Department of Financial Services BIT license, but we are not consumer facing in any way. And that means that the entities that we partner with, particularly who use RippleNet, our global system for cross-border payments, those entities are all financial institutions that are regulated. So they're regulated banks and they're regulated payment providers that all have their own, AML, FinCEN requirements. So we very much operate within the regulated framework. As far as there's obviously all of the whole host of AML requirements,
So you can hear from what she's saying here that Ripple is already regulated. They all have already done their due diligence. They've already kind of jumped through all those hoops that they needed to jump through over the last several years to be in the position they're in right now. And so the discussion here has to do with the fact that, well, so what's everybody waiting for? Crypto Penny Co. here writes, that was months ago. If everything was in place back then, what do you think is the cause for the holdup? We got digital assets down here saying timing, US elections, and the gold standard. Crypto Penny asks, do you think regs are in place already? Digital Assets Daily says, I think it's prepared and holding, put in place as needed in regards to timing. There are many factors at play, and 2020 is critical to get correct. I agree. They can't mess this up. They have one kick at the can. Okay, if they mess this up, it could mean the end. It could mean losing all credibility, and then governments, central banks of the world going back to believing that cryptocurrency is a farce. Just going to read you this down here. XR Precision writes, Ripple has had their hand in the sculpting of regulations for no telling how long. Anything they couldn't dictate, they have made changes to accommodate. The system has been deployed, so like Assets Daily said, it's all timing now. Everybody is very relaxed. They know the outcome. And guys, I think we know the outcome as well. Being XRP hodlers for multiple years now, doing the research, understanding the valuable need for XRP in the world of finance gets us all excited for everything to just move, right? And now we've got this news about the ISO 20022. So what do you guys think is the holdup? I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.